I just had a thought after having like super long DMs, and I realized that especially this industry, especially K-pop industry, in that it is built upon a fandom. Like your customers or your fans, your supporters, they like you. They like the content creator behind the content. They like the singers behind the songs that they sing. And I realized, ooh, like, and this is also like my struggle, and what I really have to develop on is that I really have to learn and practice and get better in how I indirectly put out a message instead of throwing the message like how I was currently doing until now. And this is really hard for me, especially because I have worked in industries where like very direct messages are necessary for you to market a product and for you to make profits and for you to sell the product. Because I worked in a collaborative software startup, and before that I worked as a startup investor. Both, like, you need super clear messages, very like things that can be defined and summarized in numbers. Like, for example, you need to say, oh, like if you use our product, your productivity will increase by 30%. You're gonna be able to save 3 hours per day. And before that, as an investor, like, duh, like you write reports on things like, oh, what's gonna be the potential return on investing in this specific startup, or like, and we would require those to the startup portfolios that we invested in. And I was really used to that kind of thinking, and yeah, because I worked in those industries where like results and numbers and very direct, very specific, very straightforward messages, results are necessary and are needed in order to success. But what I'm really realizing getting into K-pop industry, not as a fan, but as a performer, like on the other side, it's like, wow, like the messages have to be really subtle, like beneath the surface, and it's way better. Like you can't just throw them at your followers or your fans or people who support you, because they're not supporting you like just because of the content you create, just because of the song you make. They are supporting you, yourself as a person. And then I was like, ooh, it was like a brain pop for me that I was forgetting about the time when I was a serious fan of someone. I liked Infinite, and I was like, yeah. Like looking back, I didn't like Infinite because they increased my like happiness by 25% in this quarter. Nothing like that. It was more of a genuine connection, and I feel like that was something that I have been missing on, especially on my Instagram, that like I was focused on, oh, how can I like make more people to like click on my reels, like start watching my reel, basically how to like hook them on my content, because I had like this like set arbitrary timeline that I put on myself, and I'm really used to really fast growth in startups and like the venture like startup field industry. But I realize it sometimes it can be overwhelming to my fans and followers, that I'm too focused, or like my eyes only look at like those results instead of the whole process and progress and building those genuine connections. Of course, I'm doing it through like YouTube, and I want more people to come to my YouTube so that like we can talk about these issues. And also I'm individually like answering all the DMs and like building connection in that way. But because my Instagram is my first it's my biggest platform, and it's where most people like see me as like it's most people's first stop, that they just see me, you know. So I realized I also gotta work on the balance of making it entertaining and interesting, but also at the same time keeping that genuine connection, those human connections, and making my messages way more subtle and like way down there when creating my Instagram content. So yes, and thank you, Tetro. I don't know if I pronounced that right, but yeah, this is something that he brought up to me, and it really helped me to like really open my eyes and like realize, I was like, oh, I was doing this wrong, or like, oh, there's so many ways that there are ways that I can do this better. So thank you, and yeah, bye.